14 missiles. That's what Iran launched at the United States Fifth Fleet on the night of February 11th, 2026. Not at a single ship, at the entire fleet. Cruisers, destroyers, supply vessels, a hospital ship, everything within 200 nautical miles of Bahrain was targeted simultaneously. This wasn't a probe. This wasn't a warning shot. This was the largest coordinated missile attack against American naval forces in history. Welcome to Global Warfare TV. What happened that night brought the world closer to major war than any moment since the Cuban Missile Crisis. And it started with a single miscalculation. 4 days earlier, American Special Operations Forces had conducted a raid on a vessel in the Gulf of Oman. Intelligence indicated the ship was carrying advanced missile components from North Korea to Iran. The raid was successful. The components were seized. The ship was allowed to continue to port. But Iran didn't see it as an interdiction. They saw it as an act of war. According to sources familiar with Iranian decision-making, Supreme Leader Khamenei convened an emergency session of the Supreme National Security Council. The hardliners demanded immediate retaliation. The moderates urged caution. After 6 hours of debate, a compromise emerged. A show of force that would demonstrate Iranian capabilities without triggering full American retaliation. They called it Thunder of the Prophet. The target selection was precise. 3 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, 2 Ticonderoga-class cruisers, 1 supply ship, 1 hospital ship, all operating in the northern Persian Gulf, all within range of Iran's ballistic and cruise missile arsenal. What's your assessment of Iran's strategy? Was this a justified response to American aggression, or reckless escalation that could have started a war? Comment your answer below. The attack launched at 11:43 p.m. local time. 8 Fateh 313 ballistic missiles lifted off from mobile launchers near Shiraz. These weapons travel at Mach 8, screaming down from the edge of space. Simultaneously, 6 Noor anti-ship cruise missiles launched from fast attack boats positioned along the coast. Sea skimmers flying just 15 feet above the waves. The combination was deliberate. Ballistic missiles from above, cruise missiles from the surface, a 2-axis attack designed to overwhelm even the most sophisticated defense systems. The Fifth Fleet had exactly 4 minutes to respond. Admiral Sarah Chen, commander of Naval Forces Central Command, was aboard the USS Port Royal when the attack warning sounded. Her staff had been tracking increased Iranian military activity for 48 hours. They had raised the alert level. They had positioned additional interceptors, but nothing could fully prepare them for what was coming. Vampire, multiple inbound, bearing 340 through 020, count 14, mixed ballistic and cruise profile. If you're following this analysis, hit that subscribe button. Global Warfare TV breaks down the tactical details that mainstream media misses. The Aegis combat systems across 6 American warships activated simultaneously. They shared targeting data through the cooperative engagement capability, creating a unified picture of the threat environment. Within seconds, intercept solutions were calculated for all 14 missiles. The SM-3 Block 2A interceptors launched first, 5 missiles from the Port Royal, 3 from the USS Lake Erie. These weapons were designed specifically for ballistic missile defense. They climb to the edge of space and destroy incoming warheads through kinetic impact alone. No explosive warhead, just pure collision at 15,000 miles per hour. The first intercept occurred at 11:46:17. An SM-3 struck a Fateh 313 at 47,000 feet. The impact was visible from the surface as a bright flash against the night sky. 1 down. The second intercept came 4 seconds later. Another kill. The third SM-3 missed. According to the technical assessment, its kill vehicle's sensor failed to acquire the target during the final approach phase. A malfunction that would later be traced to a software glitch in the target discrimination algorithm. $20 million worth of advanced technology tumbled uselessly through the atmosphere. 4 more SM-3s launched, 3 connected, 1 missed. Of the 8 Iranian ballistic missiles, 5 were destroyed at high altitude. 3 penetrated the outer defensive layer. Meanwhile, the cruise missile threat was developing. The 6 Noor missiles had been flying for 90 seconds. Their wave-skimming profile made them nearly invisible to surface radar. Only the E-2D Hawkeye, orbiting at 25,000 feet, could track them consistently. The destroyers USS Gridley and USS Starrett engaged with SM-2 Block Y IIB missiles. These weapons are optimized for low-altitude threats. 2 Noors destroyed at 40 miles, 2 more destroyed at 22 miles. 2 remained inbound. Simultaneously, the 3 surviving ballistic missiles entered terminal phase. They were falling toward the fleet at Mach 6, impossible to stop with standard interceptors. What would you have done as Admiral Chen? Focus defensive resources on the ballistic threats or the cruise missiles? Comment your answer below. The USS Monterey engaged the ballistic missiles with SM-6 dual-eye missiles. These weapons have a unique capability. They can intercept targets in their terminal phase during the final seconds before impact. But the engagement window is measured in milliseconds. First SM-6 launched. Miss? The Fateh 313's warhead was maneuvering during terminal approach, making minute corrections that threw off the interceptor's calculations. Second SM-6 launched. Direct hit. The ballistic missile exploded at 8,000 feet, its debris scattering across 5 square miles of ocean. Third SM-6 launched at the second surviving Fateh. Miss. The warhead continued falling. Fourth SM-6 hit. The second ballistic missile destroyed at 4,200 feet, so close that fragments peppered the Port Royal superstructure. 1 ballistic missile remained. Flight time to impact, 12 seconds. The fleet's CIWS systems engaged. Phalanx mounts on 3 ships opened fire simultaneously. Over 8,000 rounds of 20mm tungsten filled sky above the fleet. The Fateh 313 warhead disintegrated at 600 feet. The impact of hundreds of tungsten penetrators broke it apart before detonation. Fragments rained down across the fleet, causing superficial damage to antennas and exposed equipment, but no significant harm. Support Global Warfare TV by hitting that thumbs up. Your engagement helps us continue producing this tactical analysis. But the cruise missile threat wasn't finished. 2 Noors had survived the SM-2 barrage. They were now inside minimum intercept range, just 8 miles from the nearest American ship. The USS Starrett CRAM system engaged. 11 rolling airframe missiles launched in rapid succession. The first Noor exploded 2.1 miles from the destroyer, torn apart by 3 direct hits. The second Noor targeted the USNS Comfort, a hospital ship, 1,000 beds, minimal defensive capabilities. Under international law, attacking a hospital ship is a war crime. Iran either didn't know the Comfort was there, or they didn't care. The Comfort had no weapons, no CIWS, no missile defense. The ship's only protection was a red cross painted on her hull and the laws of armed conflict. The USS Gridley interposed herself. According to after-action interviews, the destroyer's captain made the decision without hesitation. He raced his ship between the incoming missile and the hospital ship, knowing his vessel might take the hit instead. The Phalanx opened fire at 1,200 meters. The Noor was traveling at 680 miles per hour, covering 300 meters per second. The CIWS had exactly 4 seconds. 2,100 rounds of tungsten slammed into the missile. The warhead detonated 340 meters from the Gridley, close enough to shatter windows, close enough to knock sailors off their feet, but not close enough to kill. Final tally: 14 missiles launched, 13 destroyed, 1 detonated by CIWS at close range. 0 direct hits on American vessels, 0 American fatalities. Iran had thrown everything they had at the 5th Fleet, and the 5th Fleet had stopped them cold. Was this American victory a demonstration of invincible defense? Or did Iran's missiles simply underperform? Tell me in the comments. But the crisis was far from over. Admiral Chen recommended immediate retaliation. Her proposed target list included Iranian ballistic missile production facilities, naval bases, and air defense sites. President Mitchell convened the National Security Council at 3 a.m. Washington time. The debate lasted 4 hours. The Hawks argued for massive retaliation. Iran had attacked with 14 missiles. They had targeted a hospital ship. Anything less than a devastating response would be seen as weakness. The Doves argued for restraint. No American ships hit, no Americans dead. Massive retaliation might trigger Iranian attacks on Gulf oil facilities, sending global energy markets into chaos. The compromise pleased no one. American forces would conduct limited strikes against the specific launch sites used in the attack. They would not strike Iranian territory proper. At 6:47 a.m., Tomahawk cruise missiles destroyed 3 mobile ballistic missile launchers. F/A-18 Super Hornets sank 4 fast attack boats. Air Force B 2 bombers demolished the coastal radar installation at Jask. 37 Iranian military personnel were killed. Iran declared the American strikes an act of aggression. They did not, however, launch further attacks. The standoff continued for 6 weeks. American and Iranian forces faced each other across the narrow waters of the Persian Gulf. Weapons ready, waiting for the other side to blink. In the end, diplomacy prevailed. Through secret negotiations facilitated by Switzerland, both sides agreed to de-escalate. It wasn't peace, it wasn't resolution, but it was enough to pull both nations back from the brink of full-scale war. The engagement of June 23rd entered naval history as the largest coordinated missile attack ever conducted against an American fleet. It demonstrated both the sophistication of Iranian capabilities and the effectiveness of American defenses. But the margins were thin. 1 missile through, 1 warhead detonating on the deck of an American ship. That's all it would have taken to change everything. The Pentagon immediately ordered a review of Gulf defense protocols. 3 admirals were reassigned within the month. The Navy accelerated procurement of next-generation interceptors. And somewhere in Tehran, military planners were studying what went wrong. The next attack would be different: larger salvo, better guidance, different tactics. The race between offense and defense never ends. The sailors who served in the Persian Gulf during that crisis represent the best of American military tradition. They faced 14 missiles with calm professionalism. They operated billion-dollar combat systems under maximum stress. They protected each other, their ships, and a hospital ship whose only defense was the courage of her escorts. This is what the United States Navy does. This is what standing watch means. The question isn't whether Iran will try again. The question is whether American defenses will be ready when they do. Stay vigilant, stay informed. I'll see you in the next one.